Okay, DC's Crisis on Infinite Earths. Are they even trying anymore? So we all watched it. We had a session where we talked about how the CW DC shows have fallen and we didn't really want to watch them anymore. I know, OC, you didn't watch them at all, right? You just watched this crossover?
No, yeah, it's been a while since I've watched any Arrowverse shows.
Right.
And
And Chuku,
Similar to me. I think the last time was Flash season 4. After that, I didn't even see season 5. I think I see the ending, but that was because I was working with somebody and I saw the finale.
yeah, you guys saved yourselves a lot of time and trouble because I actually decided to watch the up to this point just because I wanted to know like what was up and what was going on, and the seasons all led to basically this crossover. So the entire season of Arrow, season 8, I think,
Yeah.
and then the entire season of Flash so far, all of it has been just to build this up, and this is what they gave us. Like, where do I even start? How about we start with the story, the entire story of it
Let's
all.
go from the
okay,
beginning.
that's a good place to start because what was the story? What happened? I don't like, because I honestly I felt so confused because there was, and maybe this was just because
Okay,
I
so-
haven't watched a lot.
No, you don't actually need to watch.
Yeah,
which
you
is
don't
what I
even
thought.
watch it either. That's
Which is
what I
I thought
thought.
because that's how the other crossover events have been. It's like you don't really need to watch it, but then they were just like there were just random things that I was really confused. It was hard for
Okay,
me to
so
follow the story.
the fourth episode is supposed to like I guess give us most of the story, which was Mar-Nova or whatever his name is. He built this machine and wanted to
Right.
get to the dawn of time or whatever, and then when he got there, he created the anti-monitor, or he created like this breach into the anti area or whatever, and then that created the anti-monitor, and then that created that force of a thing that swallowed up every universe or whatever. But like, what?
yes. Wait, wasn't it to like save his girl or something like that? His girl got killed and he wanted to save her, so he went and created or went to something and created the anti-monitor.
That
That's
was
what I thought I saw from
but-
episode 4. I
but
don't know.
still, like, I don't know that. Why would they? It just seems so out of nowhere.
Okay.
It just came out in episode 4, right?
Yeah, it was on episode 4 they explained the whole
By the way,
story.
that was the worst episode out of the 5.
That was the one with Ezra Miller.
Yes,
Yes,
that was
yes.
one with Ezra Miller.
They had Ezra Miller's The Flash meet Barry Allen, the Grant Gustin's Flash.
Dude,
and it was the stupidest. It was the stupidest thing in the world. Oh my god! The way that so for and I don't know how if you guys know this. Apparently, because this crossover, they were trying to make it really big.
Yeah.
And before it, Michael Rosenbaum, who played Lex Luthor in Smallville,
Yeah.
was talking about how they came to him to ask him to be a part of it, but they didn't know what he was gonna do. So
yeah, I remember you talking about this.
yeah, I probably brought it up before. They didn't know what he was gonna do, so they
he's
were
like,
basically like,
"Nah."
"Hey, we want you in this, but we don't know what you're doing yet." And so he was like, "No, why would I? Why would I do that?" But they got Tom Welling, who his part in
Smallville.
Tom Welling, who was Clark Kent from Smallville. His whole part was stupid. Apparently, they just got rid of his powers for no reason.
You know what? I actually liked his part because, like, especially with Lex, because Lex was all like, "Wait, you don't got powers?" He just like, "Nope, you're not gonna do anything about
and
me."
then this stupid Lex, this new Lex.
Yeah, I hate him so much. He's terrible. He's like the worst. I don't. He's the worst character in that whole thing.
I feel like he's the worst Lex Luthor I've ever seen.
Seriously,
I'm being real, man.
Seriously, the part where he's fighting with the rest of them, he's like, "If anyone's gonna take over this universe, it's gonna be me." I'm like, "What is going on right now?" Who is this
Okay, so
person?
Chuku mentioned this earlier. He was like, episode 4 was like Power Rangers or something.
Yes, it literally reminded me of freaking Power Rangers where they fight the anti-monitor. They're in these like rockish area, and then it's like even the way he looks because his costumes they look so like
Oh my
overly
god,
cheesy.
that
and
whole
over
fight
bad.
sequence, I was so okay. The freaking Ryan Choi, the Paragon of Humanity. Why is he there?
Yeah, that's so weird.
Why was he fighting with them? And why is he just because he's just this normal guy?
Yeah, why
they make
the
a
hell?
big deal about the fact that he's a normal guy. That
No,
he
I'm
has,
from Supernatural.
Yeah,
that he
exactly.
has-
That's what I
right,
thought.
right. That he has no powers, and he's fighting alongside Supergirl and Superman. Like what? What? And then in literally the next episode, that same monster comes and he's like cowering in the corner with a baby. And we're supposed to believe that he wasn't just in the last episode fighting them, just literally punching them with this a normal human strength.
You know what I didn't get about that monster part? I'm pretty sure those monsters can go through walls, but it seemed like the monster needed the door to open. This monster thing is like, open the door.
There
for
were
me. It was
so many
weird.
stupid moments. There was this moment
The roast has begun.
in one of the first 3 episodes where they have Black Canary, who is a great fighter but is not strong or big. They had her literally restraining this giant man and making him like threatening him with the knife on his face, and it looked so stupid because her hand didn't even fit around his wrist. And we're supposed to believe that he can't just like drop the knife and like not let it be, because the knife was still in his hand while Canary was controlling his wrist, so that it was like, don't do anything bad or else I'll make you stab yourself. And I'm just like, this doesn't look good. None of this looks like they even tried. It felt like I was watching a stupid cartoon, not a good cartoon, a stupid cartoon that they decided to just swap out cartoon characters for real actors. And I was very like, I felt like it was such a waste of time.
And that's another thing, character choices. Like, it was so weird that at the beginning of like episodes 1 through 3, where they had like Cisco, they had what's Barry's girl, and then they even had Oliver's Iris, yeah, man, I'm glad I forgot about it. And then they had Oliver's daughter, and like I was surprised, like at the end of episode 5, what happened to her daughter?
I know,
like it was just like she just
what happened to
disappeared.
her?
Like,
they made a whole big deal about how Oliver's dead now, and her daughter.
Yeah, it seemed like she was supposed to take her place, but then all of a sudden
Yeah.
they just gave it to what's her name, the Canary girl.
Black Canary.
Yeah, Black Canary.
They gave it to Black Canary. It was like, where's Oliver's
So
kid?
why did they build that up? Like, I was just like confused with that. I was like,
Wait, did she return to her own time?
I don't see. That's the thing, because the way it ended, they're all in the same
place.
universe.
That's true. That ending was very confusing.
And so
Very
also, I don't know, because I haven't been watching all of Arrow. What happened to Roy?
He's still alive.
He's still alive? So why wasn't he there?
Exactly.
Why wasn't he there? Why? I mean, they
again, even
yeah.
Cisco. I brought that again. Like, I was even looking at the ending. Why is Cisco not in this like crossover all of a sudden? Like he was in the first, like the episode 3. Then they all
Yeah.
disappeared, and then like no cameo of Cisco. I'm like, what the heck? Like,
Yeah.
Cisco.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't even
It
think
was
about
so
that.
weird. I was like, what the hell just happened?
It was kind of like how they got rid of Wally randomly in the last crossover. He was like there for a second and then he was just gone.
Like, why?
It's like, we could really use 2 Flashes in this,
Okay.
but for some reason he's not
Another
here.
decision I'm also confused about is they bring Lucifer, and I guess apparently Lucifer is based off something from DC, so
Yeah.
that's why he's there.
Yeah.
But then if I remember correctly, Supernatural is now part of DC. So how come they didn't use
Well,
Supernatural? But they used
I don't
Lucifer?
think it's the same. It's not the same character. It's a different Lucifer. It's not the same Lucifer from Supernatural.
No, but I meant like what I mean is like
Mm-hmm.
the fact that they're using the other show Lucifer, because Lucifer, that like show series has nothing to do with DC. But
It does. It's based on DC's.
I mean, it's based
Lucifer.
off DC's story, but there's nothing about it connecting it from.
Oh,
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying, which
Like
is why
with-
now Supernatural, that's part of the
But
DC.
that's the thing. Like, they literally just made a bunch of cameos for no reason.
Yeah.
And it was like the Lucifer
mean-
thing, the Constantine thing, which I love that character of Constantine and like the actor that portrays him, but he didn't do anything.
And
He
then
was worthless.
Batman, Kevin Connery's just like, I hate
Kevin
everything.
Conroy.
He's
Kevin
just like
Conroy. Oh my God. Can we talk about this? The whole Batwoman character is so annoying. I don't understand her. She makes me frustrated.
I don't even see her as doing much. She didn't really do much the entire time,
Yeah.
if you ask me.
Black Canary was a better character than her.
I feel like the people who were pushing the story, or at least the 2 shows that I feel like the story's being pushed by, was Supergirl and the Legends. Because I feel like even Flash's role, I don't know why. I mean, maybe an episode. Obviously, the episode where it's supposed to be the Flash's universe, they played that. I think that was episode 3. But it just seemed like his role. I don't know. His role just seemed so minimal, or to me. I feel like the Supergirl's
Yeah,
role.
because it was supposed to be built up to the point where like, oh, he's about to die, right?
Yeah.
They made that a huge deal throughout the entire season.
Yeah.
And I think it was, I mean,
They made
obviously,
a huge deal throughout the entire show. Like the Crisis show,
Yeah,
where
right,
the
right.
death of
And it
Flash
didn't deliver.
that was literally episode 1, season 1 of the Flash. It was like, this is the big.
Wait,
this is the big thing.
it's 2020. It wasn't supposed to be.
it was supposed to be like 2024 or something.
I thought it was
They changed
24 or 22.
Well,
No,
it's
but they
like-
changed it.
it's-
Oh yeah,
certain
they did
season.
change
Yeah.
it. I forgot.
Yeah,
about
So
that.
there, he was supposed to disappear and die and stuff like that, but they made that huge deal into nothing basically because like
Yeah.
the other random ass Barry came and died for him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It just
And then, yeah.
I didn't feel anything.
Okay,
from this.
and that's another thing with the Barry stuff. So like, no, not Barry. Sorry, I meant Oliver. Right. So did we feel like it was necessary to have him like, okay, he dies once, then we bring him back again? And
No,
then he dies
dude, that was one of the things I wanted to talk about. When the first episode he died or something.
He dies
I think
the
it was
first episode,
at the
right?
very end. I was
Yeah.
like, that was the stupidest scene I've ever seen in any crossover.
Yeah.
Because he literally died for no reason. Because Marnova what is he doing? He can transport people and he gets kicked by Oliver, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, I can't transport him. But it's so stupid.
Yeah.
But also, why teleport away Supergirl and Superman and all the people who could have like wiped out all those guys faster than Oliver?
Seriously, I don't
and leave
understand.
Oliver there. That was so dumb. It's like the logic in this entire thing was not there.
The Superman, I don't know why. Is Superman shorter than Batwoman?
I don't know. But his
Superman
presence,
is like super small.
his presence
He's-
in this is just so.
And he's also
minuscule.
super weak. Like, I don't understand why Superman can't like single-handedly take out any one of those armies that they fought. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me, especially with two of them, Superman
yeah.
and Superwoman.
yes.
Like, why can't both of them just like take out all of them? But they're
Yeah.
like, oh no, they're fighting along with this normal human we're making a big deal about the fact that
they
he's
did
just a
not
normal human.
because like a
But
lot
he's
of
doing as much
the
as that.
animated movies do it right. They separate the characters, give them individual roles that matter still,
Right.
give them individual missions that matter. So like
Right.
Young Justice, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Each
yeah.
character, even though you have like people like Wally and people like Robin, completely different like skills,
Yeah.
but because they get separated and have different missions, it makes sense. But you
Right.
give every single person fighting these random ass like ghost demons
Yeah.
and that are knocked out by like one punch by a normal person, and then have like Supergirl and Superman like occupied by them. It's so bad. It's like,
so
did they
bad.
think this through? Why did they all fight them in the same manner, in the same like sort of pacing too? It's so strange.
I honestly thought that there was a little bit of hope because there was this whole break between the first 3 episodes and the last 2 episodes.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought there was a little bit of hope in the fact that they were like, this paragon of humanity is a normal person, and he's just like a regular guy who is supposed to represent all of mankind. I thought they were gonna do something smart with him. They didn't. They literally didn't. He was like, no, he's just gonna be here, and then they're gonna have to, he doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
He doesn't do anything.
Episode 4 was so trash.
Yes.
I can't with that episode. It's just like I hated that episode.
I don't
with
know.
my guts.
That episode, I'm curious. So the last 2 episodes, were they inspired by Avengers? Because I got the what's it called, Endgame vibes with the fact that they're going back in time, or at least going back in the Speed Force timeline, where they're seeing their old selves and trying to remind themselves every scene was supposed to be a scene from the other timelines, and it was just kind of like,
Okay, so what happened there? Because I definitely probably dozed out for a second. So why were they in the Speed Force?
I think he had to like use the Speed Force to figure out. Honestly, I don't know. Like thinking about it now, because like okay, they got trapped at the point of whatever, and then they had to like get out of it, and then Oliver touched Barry's head, and then that gave him some power to get everyone out, and they had to get out through the Speed Force in order to get to the dawn of time or whatever, in order to stop the Anti-Monitor, something like that. They had to use the Speed Force as sort of a road or like a passage to get to the Anti-Monitor's place.
And they were all like in the Speed Force.
Yeah.
How did they get into the Speed Force?
I think it was like
Barry. He just
brought them
carried.
in?
Yeah, he
Okay,
just
okay,
carried
okay,
all
okay,
of them.
okay. And then they got lost, and then he had to find them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, okay, look, a few things I wanted to mention while you were talking, but I didn't want to interrupt you. One thing is the Ezra Miller Flash costume looks way better.
It does, yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, looking at them side by side, it's just,
Yeah.
what
And
is his costume?
They actually made a joke. He's like,
Yeah, he's
"Oh,
like-
are you a cosplayer?" I was
Oh, you're a cosplayer.
That's pretty
He's like-
funny.
Yeah, 'cause-
because he looks like he's cosplaying next to that.
Yeah,
suit.
that Flash suit.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's just terrible. I don't understand why they keep his season 1 costume is better.
It is. It
And-
literally is.
I don't get it, dude. But okay, that aside, I don't know. I mean, that was a fun scene. It was fine. It was whatever's. Like, they just brought him in to do that scene. Fine. But the Tom Welling scene, I'm actually glad to be able to see him.
Yeah.
Because, like, Smallville is close to my heart because I watched it when I was a kid.
I agree. I enjoyed seeing Tom Welling as Clark Kent one more time, but I felt like it was worthless.
Yeah, but
It
I
was.
remember, like, reading the comments and it was like, oh, he lost his powers again. I guess he's going to get him back next week. Because the show, you know, how many times he lost his powers. But yeah,
But
it's
interesting.
pretty
So
funny.
Lex in that Tom Welling universe, he's a president, and it seems like in that universe, it seems like Tom Welling. I mean, whatever. Superman and Lex kind of made up in that universe too. That's how it
Really?
seems like. Because the way you say he's the president is just like,
He
I don't
doesn't
know.
really care that he's the president.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like he cares. He's just like, yep. I don't know. I just love that scene because I feel like that's like the difference between Tom Welling's Smallville universe and
Yeah.
CW. CW's this little joke, and Tom Welling's just like, yeah,
Honestly,
I
like
don't give a care.
I've always wanted to go back and revisit Smallville just to rewatch it. Just because, like, yeah, there's so many good moments in that show, especially around Michael Rosenbaum as Lex Luthor and their relationship.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't appreciate his involvement.
Okay,
in
we
this.
also need to talk another person who just came in, Black Lightning.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
the
what?
way he just came in.
That was so
universe.
random.
Also, okay, I never watched Black Lightning because
None of us have.
I watched the first episode. I couldn't take it seriously.
I watched the first 30 seconds and I couldn't
Wow,
take it seriously just because they were playing Strange Fruits by Nina Simone immediately, and I'm like, no, you don't deserve this. I don't know what this is. You don't deserve to be playing this. And I'm like, I'm out of here. Like, what? And then I found out based on this crossover that he lives in a place called Freeland. Why? Like, why would you make your black superhero live in a location called Freeland? What is it? What? And I don't know if that's from the comics. I don't know, but they were completely willing to change the name of the town in Arrow when they were trying to take it seriously. So I feel like they should have at least done something with Black
Yeah.
Lightning to make it more modern.
Okay,
but-
so I guess story-wise, why, other than the stupid decisions, I think another reason why this doesn't work is this pacing. Like, everything's just happening way too fast, and then we're supposed to make them, and then it makes everything. You're trying to get us to believe that this is the reason. Like Black Lightning. Oh, I don't want to work with you. Well, you have to work with us because blah 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 blah. Don't worry, I also have the same problem you do. So therefore, work with me. Something like it's all happening too fast, and I feel like what would have been better instead of trying to have every episode a different story, they should just had like a long drawn out story for the main episodes. And
Oh,
then
Yes,
try to-
definitely.
Yeah.
That would have worked way better than this
Yeah.
whole
Like,
long out.
they
different-
needed to actually, like, I feel like every episode, or at least, like, I'm mainly thinking about episode 4, but that episode just seems so different from the rest.
Yes.
To me, at least.
I think that's why I kept getting lost. I kept getting confused about like,
Yeah.
what's going on?
But
Why are they doing this? What is?
It was the tone too.
Yeah.
The tone of that episode was just like, it felt like it came out of a kids show, and the acting. I don't know. It wasn't. It was probably not the acting. It was probably just like the way it was directed or something.
something
but
like that. Yeah.
but it just seemed like everything came off so cheesy and corny.
Yeah, that's the
It was like
thing.
intense cheese right there. I couldn't take it.
No, honestly, even in the first episode, and I've never seen this character of Brainiac, but his character when he was like, "Yes, I can't understand why you don't understand what I'm telling you," and it was just like the way that he was talking. I'm like, why is this happening? What is going on? What is this show? What is? Oh,
Yeah, but compared to episode 4, my gosh, that was like that was light on the cheese right there.
Scott's been traumatized. I agree. Okay, let's talk about how Anti-Matter got defeated. Literally, they just shrunk him down. They did basically what they did in Ant-Man.
In Ant-Man.
They even mentioned it. Oh, we're probably like doing something that offends some other continuity
Or like
movie.
microverse.
Yeah.
That's copyrighted.
Yeah,
There's a
basically.
lot of meta like moments where they're like, oh, another crossover or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's not necessarily meta, but like it's pretty meta.
Yeah, meta. Yeah, it's basically they're referencing
I don't want to
themselves.
respect it by calling it meta.
Disrespect it. Yeah,
It
yeah.
was like you're just literally saying what it is.
Which goes back to why I'm wondering if we're gonna go with meta. Like Cisco's the guy who always does that. Like Cisco's supposed to be the Abed of the
Right.
CW universe.
Yeah.
So why wasn't he not in the?
Yeah. Well, let's try to direct our focus in terms of all of us didn't like this crossover, and honestly, this is probably all our last time watching these shows, right?
Yes, and I honestly think this one's the worst one.
Yeah,
like I
me
honestly
too.
am gonna agree
Me
with
too.
that. I feel like
it absolutely
this
is.
pisses me off because I've been hearing that, and I don't know if it was the last crossover or the crossover before this one. So the fight scenes, right? Like I was hearing that CW or the Arrowverse fight scenes were getting better, and I did see one of the crossovers. The fight scenes were actually pretty decent. Like it wasn't like amazing, but it got better. But then this one was just like, oh my god, I couldn't stop cringing. Like I literally every move just looked. What if it's like Supergirl doing her little blasts and then Lex Luthor does his little
In the last episode, the part where they're fighting gigantic anti-monitor, where Supergirl is like flying, and they have that like super long shot on her, and she has like one fist out first, and then both, and then she puts it back, and I'm like, what is this? Why is this taking so long? What is going on?
I can't take it. I can't take you bringing back bad memories.
No, I really swear. I really think they're just thinking, how can we make this more cheesier than what it is? Because just when you think episode 4 was the Power Rangers, all of a sudden they had that Teletubby monster or whatever.
Oh my god,
Why
what was
would they do
that?
Literally.
The giant Furby. What is going on?
I think we're done.
Okay.
We're just done.
That's it.
Oh god, I need
That's it for the Arrowverse.
Yeah, you're just never gonna hear from us again. We're never gonna talk about this again.
Oh god.
Okay.